Aloha, everybody! Welcome to the Aloha Friday with the Sandwich Islands Social Network video podcast. We are going into our second year right here with you, and thank you so much for being some great supporters of the Aloha Friday show. And of course, the Aloha Friday with the Sandwich Islands Social Network is a series of fun conversations, interesting conversations with people in our island community. We like to say island people, island hearts. The Sandwich Island Social Network is a non-profit organization serving Hawaiians and Hawaiians at heart away from their island home. And tax-deductible donations are greatly accepted. Right below you see a little trailer that's running, and you can be a sustaining member of the Sandwich Island Social Network by going to patreon.com/Sandwich Islands 808. And all the information is there of how you can be a sustaining member, help us continue to provide the content that we do right here on the Sandwich Islands Social Network. I want to remind all of our friends that this is a live Facebook broadcast, which means you are welcome to join in on the conversation. Jump in and say, how's it? What's up? Tell us where you are coming in from. Please don't say I'm coming in from our living room, okay? What city or what state? We have quite a few of our friends already popping in. We love it. We're going to acknowledge you in just a minute. But at this moment, I want to acknowledge and say mahalo to an old friend of mine. We go back to the 90s, back in the islands. My buddy, Paul Ogata. What's up, brother Paul?
Hey, what's up?
I waited until just that moment. Okay, I figured I would catch you off guard here. Thanks, Paul, for joining us from the palatial Ogata estate in Southern California.
Yes, it's a cloudy day here in Southern California, so it's not a Beach Boys song; it's a Mamas and Papas song day.
Ah, okay. Which one would that be? Would that be cloudy Friday? It's a.
I don't know. Weren't they talking about all the leaves are brown and the skies are gray?
Was talking about right over your house, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, let's see. Right now, I want to acknowledge some of the ohana that is dropping in. Hi, Rosie. Rosie Tashiro's dropping in. Thank you so much for joining us, Rosie. And who else? There's Kay Bennett coming in from her offices right here in Simi Valley. She's checking up, making sure that everything is happening well here. Oh, Pu'uvai is jumping in. Aloha, Uncle Kamaka. I don't have a meeting today. I can tune in. Yeah, well, welcome. But we know that didn't stop you because you were still in a meeting and you still tuned in. And you just didn't tell your boss. But today...
Oops.
Pu'uvai, thank you so much for joining us. We love having you. And, hey, Stan Tashiro. How's it, you all? Now, Paulie, Stan Tashiro, you and he came from the same general area of the Aina in Pearl City, I think, right?
Yes, Pearl City High School, our alma mater, dear, where I don't even remember the words to our song, so I can't sing it right now. But yeah, Pearl City High School Chargers, the mighty purple and white.
Purple?
Great time.
We got everybody is popping in here. Stan Tashiro says that we were band geeks back in high school, right there.
Don't tell our secrets, Stan.
Somebody played the clarinet, or I don't know, you're a flautist? I'm not sure.
Here's watch your mouth, Kabaka.
You're what?
I don't know what you just said.
C. Honda says, I wanted to thank you for visiting Andy's show. C. Honda has dual citizenship with Andy Bumatai's Hamajang Gang and the Aloha Friday show with the Sandwich Islands. She is part of the Babu's crew for our Wednesday show. And so C is saying to Kai'ao that it was very cool that one of our gang dropped in over there. Let me see. Pu'uvai says, Paul, it froze on your beautiful face. Just keep talking. Aw. See her nice?
Well, now I know people have internet problems. If they think I have a beautiful face, I mean, should probably get some new equipment. And
Well, Paul, I want to start right off by recognizing the proverbial elephant in the room. You have you have celebrated your 20th wedding anniversary there.
yeah,
Paul?
2 nights ago, our 20th wedding anniversary.
Wow. Here's a picture of the three of us,
My
you,
wife is the one on
myself,
the left.
and your lovely wife, Chris. And that was at a concert from Makana that we went to
Oh
here
yeah, Santa Monica.
in
That was
Santa
great.
Monica. And this is Lake Tahoe, right?
Yes, it
You
is.
guys, great picture. And then, according to my notes here, Paul, you were introducing Chris to the gates of hell. Is this true?
No, that is Hale Mau Mau on the Big
Ooh.
Island. This past New Year's, there wasn't even an eruption, but our love was so hot it melted the rock, and that's what. Yeah, no, that's a lava lake right there.
Wow. Oh, wow. So 20 years of marital bliss, Paul. What do you attribute your ability to enjoy 20 years of being married?
Well, it's I think the truth lies somewhere between uh, out of sight, out of mind, and what's the other one? I don't know. It's
Death?
COVID. I got COVID fog, you guys. It's
You know, I was at the late Ponce Ponce's house. Now, Ponce, you remember
oh,
from,
sorry. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. There you go.
oh, is that what it
That's
was? Okay.
yeah.
So Ponce Ponce, who was one of the pioneers in television back in the day in the early
Hawaiian
'60s,
Eye.
Hawaiian Eye. He was a Kim, a taxi driver. But I was at his house. He lived in Van Nuys, or Sherman Oaks, with he and his wife Sherry, and we're talking story. And they were married 50 something years at the time. This is several years ago. He passed away in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. But so I said to them, I said, You've been married for 50 something years. What's the secret? And I looked at Ponce and I looked at Sherry and she started giggling. And I looked back at Ponce, he had a little twinkle in his eye. And I looked back at Sherry and she said, He traveled a lot. That's the secret. That's the secret.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder. That's what I just told you. Take notes, people.
So take notes. Those of
And
you out
still,
there.
though, every time I come back from one of my long trips, I put the key in the door and I'm like, oh, is it going to work? Is it going to work? And I turn it and it works all the time. So.
Uh, does she ever say, call before you come home when you land at the airport? No, just ask it.
No, because then it's weird. Then it's suspicious. Or if you come home, she's like, I thought you were going to be here tomorrow. And you look under the beds. That's what you do. Look in the closet, look under the bed. Who's shooting?
Paul, I want to go back to small kid time. Here you are. Here you are. Precocious, rambunctious, leaning forward in your seat. Devil may care. Your feet are not even on the pedals. I mean, you had that devil may care, give 'em attitude even then, Paul. It stayed through in your adult life, my friend.
Yeah, that's very evil Knievel of me. I don't even remember this. This is I was far too young. I must have, actually, that judging by the height I'm at, that's probably last year. Uh,
You have grown some, just a wee bit, as we say in Scotland, a wee bit.
I'm laterally grown.
Laterally.
Yes.
Here's something of a classic picture here, Paul. Tell us about this.
Oh my goodness! On Kapahulu Avenue in Honolulu, there was a performance space called Lizard Loft. It was above Java Java. Is that right? That was the name of
Yeah,
the place.
Java Java
So
coffee.
upstairs is a place where we did shows called Lizard Loft. Andy Bumatai used to run an open mic there, and then we did shows. And I guess this is we're doing improv here. I'm not sure what's going on, but this is there's me on the left and Kento, my good buddy Kento in the middle,
Ah, Kento. Yeah.
who just passed away a couple of months ago.
Hmm.
Very sad. Uh, and I can't remember who this other guy is, and it's killing me.
Yeah. I noticed you have a very stylish pager on.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's not draw attention to that.
Anybody who had any class or any pizzazz had a pager back in those days.
But
Absolutely.
that was the thing back in the day. You didn't have cell phones. You had a pager, and that life was so much better when you had a pager because uh, if you were not, you didn't want to be reached, then guess what? Oh, I couldn't find a phone. That it's someone just sent you their number or a secret code that you had to sort of decode through hieroglyphics that they sent to you and try to spell words with numbers. And it was a far better time in the world when you could be unplugged at your own will. Now people find you. You can't murder somebody because they your cell phone was pinged off a tower, but no one got caught from murdering through a pager. Those were so much better times, more wholesome times.
More wholesome times.
Yeah.
Uh, I usually use it to connect with my drug dealer, but let's not go that far on it at this point. Pu'uvai says 143 was pager code for I love you. Ooh, that's right.
That's a real glasses half empty, half full kind of thing because there are so many four-letter words that. But you say, "Oh, love." Oh, okay, that's what it is. Then you're a glasses half full kind of person.
Oh my goodness.
But people used to spell words out using the numbers. Actually, create like 177 was an M, and then like a three is an E. So you could actually spell words, and it wasn't perfect, but through context, you could decipher it.
Wow. Pagers, pagers, man. I tell you, we've lived through that. Then,
Yeah.
Paul, came
Oh,
the wonderful, wonderful time in Waikiki at a place called the Comedy Cow.
yeah. That's when I had the bright idea to open a comedy club in Waikiki, in Hawaii. And I found out I'm not a very good business person, but uh, it was good times. I got to keep the spark of comedy alive in Hawaii for a little bit, create a
Yes, you
space
did.
for people to work and do comedy and come enjoy comedy too. And in this picture on the left of the photo is my cousin Kelly, who worked the door, and on the right, that's Kehau Jackson, Kehau Lee, Kehau Baija. Which Kehau is she this time?
She- well,
Kehau Jackson.
well, right now, Kehao is saying, here she is, Kehao Jackson. There she is. She is in Australia. She's been a resident there for a number of years. And she said the Lizard Loft was the Punana Leo of comedy. That was a place to go. Absolutely. Absolutely. Welcome, Kehao. Good to have you. And she's looking at her picture right now and she goes, "Yikes."
What? Those were good times.
Those
I
were
mean,
good
not
times.
good for me financially, but those were good times. Yeah. It was,
I'm told you blew through most of your inheritance and the inheritance for most of your children.
somebody told me once, "Hey, do you want a small fortune? Start with a large fortune and open a comedy club." I mean, I wish they told me that before, but I found out afterwards.
Uh, Marty Burns, Marty Burns here says, talking about pagers. He's going, we had no phones, no pagers, but somehow we always found each other on the weekends. Yeah, the coconut wireless was always up and hot. No question about that. Yeah. And Kehal says she still has the T-shirt to Comedy Cow.
Well,
Wow, that would be a collector's item right there, Paul. Man.
I mean, if you have it, then yeah, it has been collected, and that that's the only person I imagine who has interest in it is the one who has it. I recently uncovered one. I visited my family over the New Year holiday back in Hawaii, and my mom was like, "Here, look what I got for you. It's one of your old comedy posters." I was like, "Oh, great, yeah."
Thanks for
Open those
bringing
wounds
back
again.
great memories, Mom. But that was the spot. In fact, was the Honolulu Comedy Club, that was still going at the time?
No, that had shut down. It had moved to
Yeah.
another hotel, then it shut down entirely. So I thought Hawaii needed a place for
Yeah.
live stand-up comedy, and was I wrong? Uh, it just wasn't time for it yet. But I'm glad the scene there now is growing, and it's amazing. You got people like Tumua Tuine who's carrying the torch now, and it's a good time for comedy in Hawaii.
Yeah, certainly is. Certainly is. Um, Kehau says a sign from the club that says utterly amusing.
I tell you, I'm a big fan of puns. Not many people are, but man, I love it. They say that's the lowest form of humor. Yeah, whatever, bring it. I love puns, man.
Bring on the puns. Oh man, bring on the puns. Yes. Um, I know we'll talk about your travels. My goodness, if you collecting mileage on your, I don't know what airlines you usually fly, whether it's United or whatever's, but you must be have quite a few miles in your account, Paul, from all of your
You know,
traveling.
I thought that I would after all this traveling, but
Yeah.
some countries use kilometers, so it doesn't really.
What?
No, I don't. It's spread across so many airlines that I'm aggregate. I'm rich with points, but if you count it on each airline, then no.
Oh, okay. All right. But one common denominator in all of your travels and so typical of a local boy is food.
Oh,
Food.
yeah.
Oh. You posted this, Paul, a prime rib steaks there, spiny lobster broiled. Over there to the left looks like broiled asparagus, and you have rice right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hey, I'm a gourmet or a gourmand. I don't know what the difference is, but
So you are a rice aficionado of some caliber, Paul. You
as aren't we all coming from Hawaii? That's one of the food groups in Hawaii. That's one of the food pyramid. It's the whole pyramid, basically.
it's a rice pyramid. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you will travel with your special brand of rice, or do you have a special brand you can recommend, or
Well, I like to buy. There's like $60 bags of rice from Japan that I get from Marukai, and I don't know that because it's in Japanese. I don't know what it is. It's a pinkish whitish bag that
uh-huh.
you can get, and it's amazing rice.
And
Uh,
you've tried all the various different ones. You've ended on that one as the best.
yeah, I guess, yeah, sure.
Okay.
There are a lot of good rice brands,
Mm.
but this one I found I really like it, and it's a little expensive, but hey, you need good ingredients.
Okay.
Like you
Uh,
can eat any kind of steak, and it's all good steak. But if you want really, really good steak, you're gonna get A5 Kobe Wagyu and ribeye. You're not gonna
mhm.
get sirloin. So,
Yeah. Stan says, gotta have the rice. No question
of
about that.
course.
Yeah.
And listen, I am. Uh, I, it's a science, man. How you make your rice. It is a
Ah,
science. Some people like to use the finger technique, right?
right.
The water line is the knuckle joint or whatever. Uh, I don't believe in that because fingers aren't all the same size. All right. Some people might have an ET finger, and then the rice comes out soggy. Uh, so you got to use the right measurements. And if I could be a rice scientist for you right now.
Please.
Yeah. And
What?
it varies from white rice to brown rice. You want
Oh,
maybe the sacred black rice, if the forbidden rice. That's a different water measurement too. If you want jasmine, listen, we could do a whole 4 hours on rice.
wow. So, do you use a rice cooker, or you cook it right on the stove, old school style, or what?
I've got 3 rice cookers at my house. All right. I've got 3 rice cookers, and I make rice in a pot too, like a regular pot, but not regular rice. I use that for risotto. You know, if I'm being howly.
Well, what I miss that you don't get in a rice cooker, which is why I do cook my rice on the stove, is the papa'a part. The Hawaiians say papa'a. What is the Japanese term for that? Because
Well, in
ko-
Japanese, like we always used to say koge because it
koge,
was all burnt
koge,
up.
the koge rice with a little bit sugar and some milk. That's dessert, brah.
Oh wow.
Oh man.
I never did that. But you know, when you go to Korean restaurants, they take the stone pot rice and
Yes,
whatever's left in there, they pour hot water in
love it.
and let it soak up, and then you eat it that way.
Love it. Let's see. Our friends are jumping in. Kehao says that she is gonna go take care of her dog Lucy. She says hugs to Paul. I'll catch you guys later. Aloha, Kehao. You take care. And Kehao is in tomorrow already. She's such a futuristic girl in Australia. It's already Saturday, man. So yeah. Yes. Stan says you got to use a good rice cooker. Yep, to make good rice. And he says the koge rice is the best. I agree, but you don't get that with the rice cooker, man. You gotta cook it on a stove. And so here's a question here, oh great one, Mr. Ogata. Marty says, "Hey, if not the finger, what measurement do you use then?"
Use a measuring cup. That way, it's perfect.
Uh huh.
Because like I said, fingers are different sizes. This knuckle joint is different, and different rice, different measurements. So for let's say brown rice, I will use 3-to-2 ratio, right?
Three
Water to rice.
3 cups of water, 2 cups of rice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Uh, so everybody's taking notes here to
Yes,
improve the
take notes.
quality.
Or do what I do recently. I discovered microwavable rice, and oh my goodness, my life has changed. It's there's a Korean store that sells microwavable rice, and oh, you got to do this. 90 seconds in the microwave, perfect rice. You don't even have to. You could have no fingers and still enjoy this rice. Okay, you don't.
That's
I mean, you got to turn the microwave on somehow. I don't know. You use your elbow if you have no fingers. I don't know how you use your nub to turn on the. Yeah, but oh, microwave. And I think the brand is Otori, or I'm not sure, but I've tried several different brands and they're all good these days.
um, guilty
My hats
of.
off to the Koreans. They make everything better. Sony came out with TVs. Korea came out with Samsung. It was so much better. In America, we have boy bands. Korea came out with BTS. It was so much better. You have regular pots and pans. Oh, I just bought this week. I bought pots and pans from Korea. Yeah, non-stick. I burned an egg in there for like 15 minutes and it just slid right out. Nothing sticks to this pan. I think it's coated in Trump. This thing is just everything just slides right off of it. And it's yeah, so you have regular cookware. Yeah, Korea has K-pots. That's what they got. All right, so get on the Korean tip, you guys.
It's coated in Trump. Well, true that, because the last road trip I took, bought about 4 or 5 of those microwave, the kind, and they work good. You just pull back the little
Yeah,
on top just a little bit, boom, you get them.
90 seconds to rice heaven.
I've also discovered jasmine rice from Trader Joe's, frozen in the bag. It's 3 minutes in the micro. The jasmine rice is delicious. It's the whole kitchen is fragrant with jasmine. Oh my
Sure, if you're
goodness!
gonna make Thai food, that's good for that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make Malaysian food, if you're gonna make nasi lemak,
Ooh,
use regular rice and coconut milk, a little
nice.
bit of pandan. It's so good.
Look at you, man. I love this. Well, let's talk about you. You've traveled through Asia quite extensively here, Paul, over the last several years, and in Indonesia, I have a note here that you were taken to a local eatery that served cow brains.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
not my favorite.
No?
You
Even
think, oh, it would be probably indistinguishable in a stew, all chopped up. No, they served to me on a plate, just a brain on a plate, a little bit of gravy on it, and oh, it was horrible. It looked like a brain. It was right there on the plate, and so I cut into it with my knife and the fork, and you could see the medulla oblongata. There's like a little thing in there. I'm like, oh, gross. I took one bite of that thing, and immediately I had to excuse myself. Went to the restroom and I just vomited everywhere. Then I came back, and they were like, "Oh, what's wrong? Eat some more." I was like, "Oh, okay." And because they're your hosts in this country, you have to be respectful and eat the food. So I tried a little more, and every time I bit into this cow brain, it's like I could taste its memories. Like, oh, like, oh, why are they trying to tip me over? I'm just trying to eat. I vomited 5 times that day and 3 times after I got back to the hotel, just thinking about it. It was gross, man.
um, I'm
I
thinking
cannot
perhaps
disrecommend eating brains enough. I cannot. It is horrible.
perhaps if I took a large cauliflower, cut off the bottom, steamed it, covered it with ketchup, and served it to you, you might have some PTSD flashback, and it would be interesting to have a videotape of that, Paul. I'm going to make a note.
And if I still had a pager, I would murder you and then escape undetected.
Speaking of delicacies, there is a fruit that is very popular in Indonesia as well, and this is the durian. You're familiar with this at all, Paul?
Oh yeah, that's nasty. All right, look, it is horrible. Even look at it. Even God doesn't want you to eat it. It's covered in spikes, and it's the smell is bad. This thing smells so bad, even without cutting it open. Right, just as a full fruit, it smells so bad they don't even allow it on public transportation, on buses, on trains, in taxis. There's like you know how they have the little symbols, the cigarette with the line through it, no smoking. They actually have the circle with the durian in it and the line through it.
Is
No
that
durian
is that
allowed.
right?
It is horrible. You can smell durian from 2 blocks away. That's how horrible it is. And uh, some people they love it there. Some people they call it the king of fruit, which to me I thought that was Elton John, but this thing. Okay, so same trip in Indonesia. They take me to another place later on in the trip, and there's a durian stand. The street is empty. There's no one around, and they were like, "This guy's gonna try some durian." So the guy gets it out. He cuts it open, pulls open this lobe, and oh, the smell is already hitting you in the face. Just boom, and I take a bite of it, and it's like if you left. You ever leave onions out so long that it becomes soft and mushy? That's what this tasted and smelled like. Just rotten onions. That's even the consistency of it too, and it was horrible. And I put it down, and the guy's like, "Are you done?" I was like, "Yeah." Out of nowhere, dude, like 20 Indonesians just popped up and like, "Oh, is he not gonna eat that?" They're just like fighting for pieces of this horrible fruit,
No, no,
and
no,
I
no,
can't.
no, Paul. Um, hang on a second. It says some people regard the durian as having a pleasant, sweet fragrance, whereas others find the aroma overpowering unpleasant. Some smells evokes deep appreciation too. Intense disgust has been described as rotten onions, turpentine,
Hmm.
raw sewage. The
Yeah,
persistence
yeah.
of its odor may linger for several days. As you say, certain hotels, public transportation services in Southeast Asia ban the fruit. However, here is a British naturalist, Alfred Russel Wallace, that described this flesh as rich custard, highly flavored with almonds.
Uh, uh, you know what else tastes like almonds? There's three things in the world that taste like almonds. All right, almonds, durian, and cyanide. All right, so two of the three things that taste like almonds are horrible. Almonds does not have a good track record for you to make an analogy to liken something to. Oh, it tastes like almonds. Yeah, I guess it tastes like poison. It is horrible, dude. I would don't. Yeah, I mean,
So,
I'll try anything one time though. I'll try anything one time.
okay, there's a challenge out there. Oh my goodness! Now our group is loading up on this, man. Let's see. Puvai says you could taste its memories.
Ugh.
It probably remembered that you had a club called the Comedy Cow, and so it was like divine retribution or something,
This is
man.
probably what it was.
Right?
Yeah.
Man. Let's see. Let's see. Stan Tashiro says it's like doing a lobotomy and eating it too.
Yeah. It was like Hannibal Lecter in the sequel to Silence of the Lambs in the movie Hannibal, where he cut open Ray Liotta's head and made Ray Liotta eat his own brain. Yeah. Oh,
You know, with a little fava, some fava beans, you know?
at a nice Chianti.
Here's Pu'uvai. She says, I made my husband go to the Asian market to buy a durian so I could take it to work and show my American friends, and they made me take it outside and cut it there, and everybody surrounded me while I cut it open like I was dissecting a frog. Oi.
And then she
Oi.
was fired the next day. Why would you take it to work? Oh my goodness.
You sent me
Thank
a
goodness for
clip.
COVID. I'll tell you that because a
Uh-huh.
lot of people can't smell or taste anymore. It's perfect for durian to make its emergence into the world right now.
You sent me a wonderful clip now. So this was in Malaysia, and let's watch it, and then maybe we could set it up here. That there's a chef at a local restaurant brought one of her prized dishes.
Yes, this is in Kota Kinabalu on the island of Borneo in Malaysia, the state of Sabah. And we went to this restaurant and she brought out this highly sought after dish that because I said I'll try anything once and because I was with my hosts there, I jumped in and ate this.
Okay, here we go.
Yes. The head up like this.
Come on!
Paul's about to eat this.
Okay.
Go on, Paul, go for it.
It won't stop squirming.
It's just wriggling. Don't worry. It's just wriggling. Okay, just hold the head up like this.
Yeah?
Okay. Then from the bottom, I'm gonna accompany you.
She's gonna do it. She's gonna do it.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Just. Okay. So from the counting, 1, 2, just. You need to eat the whole body.
Oh, well, it's too late now.
No.
Even the head?
Yes.
No paw!
Nice, right?
No paw!
How was it?
Some people say it's like blue cheese. Some people say it's like evaporated milk.
Yeah, exactly.
I say it's exactly like I'm going to go vomit now.
You guys are funny.
By the way, if you serve living animals, are you even a chef or are you a zookeeper? What? You didn't cook this. You didn't cut it. I had to cut it with my own teeth, woman. Oh,
So it was kind of easing along in that plate. It was like,
yeah. Yeah.
oh,
By the way, if you want to make rice in Malaysia, they use the worm to restore the water level. No. Oh, it's horrible, dude. She did also serve a deep fried version of that, which was great, by the way.
deep fried. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it was like a chicharron, it was like a pork rind. It was great. It was crunchy, crispy. It was great.
Uh-huh.
Come
Uh,
on, Stan,
Stat,
man up. You'd try it, right? You're a
Stat says it's wiggly. Don't worry. Now, Marty Burns, we got into discussions previously about Marty Burns and some of his favorite Mexican food. Sesos tacos is brain
yeah.
tacos. And he says, with a little salsa on it, brah, you good to go, brah. So maybe I should hook you up with Marty. He'd take you down to try some seso tacos, which is a brain
Yeah,
tacos.
you're not gonna get that at Taco Bell, right?
You're gonna more than run for the border, bro. You know?
Oof.
Oh, that's funny, man. So this was in Malaysia, yeah, and also in Manila. You say you had balut with Manila streetwalkers.
Oh yeah. We were after a show. We are in Manila, right on the street at a food stall, and the host once again was like, "You gotta try balut." I was like, uh, "Okay, I'll try anything one time." And as we were sitting there waiting for the balut to come, the streetwalkers came by, and they were like, "Oh, have you had the balut?" And I was like, "I'm gonna have one now. I'm not really looking forward to it." Then the streetwalker said, "Oh, it's an aphrodisiac." And I guess, I mean, if you put balut in your mouth, you put anything in your mouth. Uh, but it's oh, did we get what was that? Did we get censored? I'm not sure. Uh, but it's an egg with a duck baby in it. It's not like you know how regular eggs there's like a yolk in it and the not yolk part, which is the albumin, but not many people know what that part is called. Yeah, this has like a fully formed duck baby in the egg with feathers and the crunchy bits and the. So I had it, and the guy was
Uh-huh.
like, "It's like just like chicken soup." I'm like, "You have not had good chicken soup if you think this is what it tastes like." So you do a shot and you suck it out.
Okay, so alcohol was involved. So you do a shot.
Very much, yeah. No,
Got
no,
it.
you do a shot. Alcohol was involved in the process of me trying it in the first place. But still, you get the egg, you pop the top off, then you do a shot of the balut of the duck fetus and the associated juices in it. Hey.
C Honda says funny, but this talk of food is not making me hungry. I don't know why.
What could be the reason? Right at lunchtime too. Enjoy your food, everyone.
We timed it just right. This will help you with your New Year's diet over here. Exactly. Oh my goodness. There is I love this story, Paul, when you were in Afghanistan and you had a wonderful experience, surprise experience with a spam musubi.
In the most unexpected place. You're in the middle of a war zone in Afghanistan. You're thinking you're going to eat MREs, you know, the meals ready to eat that the soldiers eat, the powdered stew or whatever it is. But no, uh, first of all, these are the best shows I ever get to do. Is shows for the military. Wherever they are, I'll go. If it's domestically, I'll go there. I'm doing a show Saturday at the 32nd Street Naval Base in San Diego. Um, and I'll go wherever they are overseas. I've been in war zones. They've painted my face on bombs before, which I thought was great. And by the way, also they put my web address on one of the bombs on one of these 2,000-pound JDAM bombs, and sometimes the bomb doesn't go off. And what if the terrorist looks at the crash through their house and like, who is this fellow that? Anyway,
Yeah, I'm looking for that one. I thought that was I'm not sure if I labeled this one correctly or not. This is one of the soldiers there that was named Paul, right?
yeah, that's Captain Paul, and I am not Captain Paul.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And there's the Spam Musubi in
Yes.
Afghanistan.
So there's big bases in Afghanistan, or there were when we were still there. Kandahar and Bagram, and outside of that, there's little tiny bases, and outside of those are even tinier, littler bases called forward operating bases and command outposts. So the command outposts are in the middle of nowhere. We're in one of these tiniest places in Shinwar, Afghanistan, and they send out information to the troops there, like, oh, we've got a show coming with these comedians, and one of the soldiers there saw that it was a guy from Hawaii coming. So he, instead of coming to the show, which is the whole purpose of me being there, is to do a show for them, he skipped the show, went to his tent, cooked some rice, fried some spam, and I guess he had nori, and he made spam musubi for me.
Wow.
And gave it to me after the show, and it was the most amazing thing. I mean, it was a great spam musubi, don't get me wrong, but it was amazing just to know that he gave up his chance to watch comedy to do a solid for me.
Absolutely.
So to Lieutenant Kim, wherever you are today, thanks, man. Mahalo. I appreciate it. It was well received.
That's Aloha in action, man. Here you are with
Yeah, there you go. They just picked a cartoon of me on a bomb.
right.
Yeah, look at that. And I like how they decided to draw the hachimaki on my head too, like a Japanese headband. So this is me being racially profiled, literally.
And as you say, if those bombs don't go off, the terrorists know how to find you, man.
Right.
Be aware. You might get a knock at the door and be pleasantly surprised by someone here. Goodness. Let's see. Oh, here's Rosie. She said, growing up, we would stop at the Filipino market on the way to lunch at McDonald's, and we would eat balut while we were eating our hamburgers. So, ethnically speaking, McDonald's and balut go together, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, in some places in the world, the McDonald's will serve local food. Like in Hawaii, McDonald's serves spam and it serves saimin and Portuguese sausage. But in the Hong Kong McDonald's, they serve chicken feet. So maybe in the Manila McDonald's,
Why not?
they might serve balut.
Yeah. I guess C is saying, yeah, the spam musubi was good, but how was his rice?
It was great. It was, I don't remember trying to assess his rice on a scale of 1 to 10. I was just so grateful, but it was good because here's a guy he obviously knew what he was doing. I mean, he had nori in Afghanistan, right? He had a rice cooker in a tent. He knew what he was doing.
That's great. That's great. And I'm just looking at some of the notes over here. You've been all over the planet. And you were threatened by the triads in Macau and challenged by the Yakuza in Japan.
Yeah.
How did you come to the attention of the triads and the Yakuza, Paul?
Well, at the MGM Grand in Macau, we were doing a show in this theater lounge type of thing. But off to the side, there were a group of triad people because they basically run Macau. It's if you've seen a documentary before or any of the Rush Hour movies starring Jackie Chan, that's what's going on with Macau. By the way, Macau is like the Vegas of Asia, in case you don't know. So they're there having loud conversations while I'm trying to do a show. And I kept looking over to the side and talking smack to them. But they don't understand English. They don't have to because they're triads. They're gangsters from China. So this one guy has had enough of it. And he takes his shirt off. And I'm like, and if you know anything about beefing in Hawaii, that's what you do, right? You take off your shirt first. So I was like, oh no, it's going down. And he's walking up to me shirtless with his cigar. and he walks right up to me, gets in my face, and I don't know what he says in Chinese, but he jabs at me with his cigar as a gesture, and I'm like, oh, he probably said I'm gonna die if I don't shut up. So, and he left after that. Uh, so I lived, but, I think.
And you came to the attention of the Yakuza in Japan?
Oh, this was an interesting story. When I did shows in Roppongi in Tokyo, the night before my show, I'm just sitting in a bar with my other friend who's a comedian too, and we're talking, and I guess word gets out that we're comedians from America. So there's this guy at the bar smoking his cigarette, and you could see he's, he doesn't look like a law-abiding citizen, because law-abiding citizens don't smoke like this and listen to conversations. Anyway, and tattooed. He's got the tattoos coming up the face, and he's listening to this conversation. And he gets on his phone, and well, about 15 minutes later, a couple of guys show up with a comedian, and it's the bar owner tells me, oh, that's the Yakuza. They had brought a comedian to challenge me and my friend. Not like in deadly combat, but what was going to happen is their comedian was going to try to make us laugh. And if we laughed, we'd have to do shots. So this guy, big portly Japanese guy, shouting, very slapsticky Japanese comedy. He was trying his hardest to get us to laugh. But first of all, I don't understand anything he's saying. So it made it easier for me not to laugh. And this went on for maybe a half an hour. And finally the guy was like, oh, okay, sorry. And then we all did shots, and I think they murdered him after that because he failed, or they cut off one of his fingers, and now it's harder for him to measure rice. You know what kind of that's punishment in Japan, right?
See, Honda says he was a laugh off. Okay, it was a
yeah, sort of. My stupid friend though, he kept laughing at the absurdity of it all, so he kept having a drink, but not me. I'm your hero, America.
Oh wow. That is and you almost got murdered by a sailor in Hong Kong.
Oh yeah, I was doing a show in Soho in Hong Kong at a club called Takeout Comedy, and the USS George Washington had pulled into port that week. Well, the XO, the executive officer of the ship, came over to watch the show. And he had a good time. So he went back to the ship, told everybody about it. The next night, the room was full, packed out with drunk sailors out on shore leave. And the loudest, drunkest guy in the front row drinking bottle out of wine right out of the bottle. And he keeps interrupting the show, and I keep slamming him down. And if you come to one of my shows before, it's gonna be a battle of words if you do that. So I did. For the whole show, I'm slamming him down. His friends are laughing at him because I keep making it an example out of him. Finally, he's had enough, and he stands up. His bottle of wine is empty. He picks it up, and he's in the front row, and the stage is maybe 6 inches high, so we're right next to each other. He swings it at me, and I took like a step back, and I felt the bottle graze me. So had I not done that, he would have clocked me. He would have murdered me right there in a basement in Hong Kong. And I was like, okay, show's over, everybody. Good night. And I left. And that guy, I never found out what happened to him, but he was probably arrested that night. If you're that drunk, you're going to get arrested.
Oh, man.
There, you're going to get, he was, you know what? Good luck to that guy, wherever he is. I hope you made it through.
Paul, you deprived someone of actually being able to have your brains that night. I mean, just saying.
You don't want my memories in your mouth. Trust me. You don't. I've been through some stuff.
I want to do this great clip over here. I believe this is also in Asia. This Comedy Central Asia. This was in Hong Kong. This clip we're going to show.
It was. I did a half-hour special on Comedy Central Asia, and we filmed it in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, but it aired throughout Asia. one time I was in China and this African guy came up to me. He's like, "Oh, you're the guy from the Comedy Central." It's like, so he saw it on a TV in Beijing somewhere, and he just came up to me. So yeah, unfortunately, it didn't air in America. So yeah. Anyway, this was from that half-hour special.
Sweet.
But China, yeah. We got, like a lot of countries in the world, we have our beefs with China. Here's why it is. Every day China wakes up, they see an empty spot in the ocean, and they're like, "Whoa, that could use more China." And they just start building more China, and people wake up like, "Oh my God, China's closer." That should be China's national motto. China, coming soon. I had a Chinese guy surprise me once in Los Angeles. Not like out of the bushes, not like that. But he surprised me with an inappropriate question at a party. He said, "Hey, are you ABC?" I said, "What is that?" He said, "American-born Chinese." And I said, "No, Dad, no, I'm NCAA." He said, "What is that?" I said, "Not Chinese at all."
Funny stuff, Paul. Funny, funny, funny stuff. You have been blessed with so many opportunities to make people laugh. I was noting over here you had an opportunity to hang out a little bit with. There's David Copperfield. That was that in Vegas? Were you with?
That
David?
was pretty cool because when I was a kid in Hawaii, Copperfield got his start in Hawaii. I don't know if you remember. He used to
Did
do
not
shows at
know
the
that.
Seisibon at Pagoda Hotel.
Wow.
That was his first shows. So
Huh.
he started in Hawaii, and I went to see him, and I got his autograph. And years later, at the MGM Grand, which is where Brad Garrett's comedy club is, where I perform a lot, and David's show is also at the MGM Grand. So he came to watch my show one night. So it was like a nice 180, a
How
nice
cool
full
is
circle
that? How
of the world.
cool is that? And there you are, man, at Brad Garrett's Comedy Club, right there on the Strip. In fact, one year came out to see you there. I think it was a New Year's show that we came out to see you at Brad Garrett's, and several times during the year you are there at the club. So
I will be there again April 18th
Sweet.
through the 24th with Brad Garrett. So come on out. It's going to be a fantastic show.
nice, 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 nice. By all means, you can go to paulogata.com. paulogata.com for information about, I'm sure you update that with your calendar of where you're performing.
Sure.
You're only recently you're right here in Southern California in Bellflower at a comedy club, and we've seen Paul on Celebrity Family Feud. There he is with Brad Garrett, and that's Debbie. I forgot her last
Debbie
name.
Gutierrez.
Gutierrez. Yes, yes, yes. Funny, funny Latino comic. And here you are with Steve Harvey. That must have been a fun experience on that show, Paul.
Yeah, we totally lost, but it was, Brad was facing off with Ray Romano on that show, and they were kind enough to say whoever won would split the money between the two charities. So there were no losers that day, even though we were totally the losers that day.
My goodness, our time has gone by so quickly here, but I could not leave this segment without a little bit of skin here. And at the risk of anyone being offended here, I want to show you what skin we're talking about. Paul, you were the centerfold of this magazine, the FHM
Yeah.
Singapore edition. A great interview there. And thank God your feet were clean. You weren't wearing your slippers. Everything was good. And I take it this brought you even greater notoriety. Is that true?
Well, not as you'd hope for, but this is a fun shot taken by Phil Nee from New York City. He does a lot of TV. He was in a movie with Jennifer Lopez recently. He's also a comedian and a photographer. He took this shot, and then I posted it up online. I was like, "Hey, check out this shot," and I got looped in somehow to this gay foot fetish club that they were like, "Hey, we love your shot. We want to make you a member." I'm like, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'll take that photo down.
So, okay, if it was a choice between being featured on the Durian Gazette and the Foot Fetish Monthly, what would you choose, Paul?
Well, I'll go with the Foot Fetish Monthly, yeah. Because I've already had durian in my mouth and I did not like it. So.
Oh, there you have it. You heard it first right here on the Aloha Friday show. Holy mackerel there. Please go to paulogata.com for more information about Paul. There's some great clips there. Gives you tour information. And again, you're going to be at Brad Garrett's in Las Vegas in April
18th through the 24th. If you can't make it there, I'll be at the LA Comedy Club 2 weeks prior. It's at the Stratosphere in Las Vegas.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And, Paul has many faces, and you'll see them all on the shows that he gives. This is a great shot, Paul. I love this. I love this. And all of these faces, his wife Chrissy has seen over the last 20 years. And so in some form or another. And congratulations as we come to the close of our time together for your anniversary. Give hugs to Chrissy as well. And all the best to you as you go through 2022 there, my friend. Thanks for joining us, man. Enjoyed having you.
Good to see you, brother, man.
And we got some folks that just popped in just real fast here. Let me see. Oh, my goodness. Pool Vice says, I heard you have to take a 20-page exam to be in the Yakuza gang, so you got to be smart. Okay. That's
There's an SAT for crime?
for
That is organized crime. Wow, that is.
Here's NTK Bennett says, mahalo, love to Chrissy. Yes, absolutely. All right, man. Once again, Paul Ogata, our great friend. Good to see you again, bud, and we'll catch up with you soon. Aloha, brother. It's so great here to see Paul. He goes off to our virtual green room as we come to the close of our time together. Such a delightful, delightful time, some great laughter. And we want to thank all of you for being part of the Aloha Friday video podcast, which happens every Friday at 12 noon Pacific time. And we look forward to seeing you next week, Friday. As a matter of fact, we have coming all the way from Kihei, Maui, Mr. Andrew Molina, who is an amazing ukulele player, and he will be on board next week, Friday, for the Aloha Friday show. So until then, we'd like to say mahalo to all of you for joining us. We wish all of you to be safe out there. Be sure that you mask up, get yourself vaccinated, get yourself boosterized, whatever it takes. Please be safe, be healthy. We need you to stay healthy with us. We say aloha, and we'll see you next time on the Aloha Friday Show.